Hi, my name is Callie O'Brien, and this is my journal entry number 4. Growing up, I went to a really diverse school. We had students from all over: Black, Latino, Asian, white, Middle Eastern, mixed backgrounds, you name it. So from a young age, I was exposed to a wide variety of people, cultures, languages, and traditions. I thought I understood race because I was around so many different people, but now I realize being around diversity isn't the same as understanding race, especially not whiteness. At school, we talked about racism sometimes, usually in the context of civil rights movements or when something big happened in the news, but we never really talked about whiteness. It was there, but not named. It wasn't explained as a race the way other identities were. I don't remember teachers ever saying what it means to be white or how whiteness shows up in school systems, history lessons, or discipline practices. At the time, I didn't question it much, but having a half-brother who's brown really shifted things for me. We share a family, but we don't always experience the world the same. I remember times when he'd get followed in stores or people would assume he wasn't as smart. I never got that kind of treatment, and that's when I started to notice how race operates differently depending on how you're seen, and that whiteness, even when it's not talked about, protects people in a way that other identities don't always get. Moving on to defining racism, then versus now. So before EDF 2085, I thought race was mostly about skin color, and racism was about people being mean or saying offensive things. I didn't think too deeply about it. But in PowerPoint number 5, race is defined as a social construct, something made by society to divide people and create hierarchies. And racism isn't just about personal attitudes, it's about systems that benefit some and hurt others based on race. That definition was both challenging and affirming. Challenging because it made me realize how much I'd been missing, but affirming because it helped me make sense of things I've seen in real life, like the way my brother is treated, even though we're family. Next, to talk about whiteness in schooling. So thinking back, I realized whiteness was never described as a racial identity in school. It was just the default. Even though I was in a diverse environment, everything we learned in history, literature, and even science often centered white perspectives. That's something I've come to see more clearly in EDF 2085. Whiteness isn't just about being white, it's about the position of dominance that has been maintained over time through education, by policy, and culture. Now I see that whiteness is racialized too, but it's often made invisible. That invisibility is part of the power it holds. And for what I need to learn next, which is really important, to be the kind of teacher I want to be, I need to learn how to name and challenge whiteness in education, not to shame students, but to build awareness and fairness. I want to create a classroom where racial dynamics are talked about honestly and where all students feel seen. That means continuing to study how systems work, how racialization happens, and how do I uplift marginalized voices, not just include them. In conversation with Chang and Ah, in their article, Chang and Ah talk about Asian and Asian American students are racialized in really harmful ways. According to PowerPoint 5, racialization is when society gives racial meaning to people or groups in ways that enforce stereotypes or unequal treatment. It's not just noticing race, it's assigning a role or narrative to it, often without asking people themselves. Chang and Ah give 2 strong examples. One is the model minority myth, how Asian American students are expected to be super high achieving and quiet. That might sound like a compliment, but it actually silences them and puts a lot of pressure on them. Another example is how Asian American histories are left out of the curriculum, making students feel invisible or not American enough. If we're going to stop this, teachers need to redefine what diversity means. It's not just about having different skin tones in a classroom. It's about understanding how race is constructed, how it impacts students, and how schools can either reinforce or challenge those racial stories. And to wrap up, My experience at a diverse school with my half-brother gave me an early view into how race affects people differently, even within the same family. But this course, and especially readings like Chang and Ah, helped me understand why. If I want to be a teacher who truly supports all students, I need to keep learning about race, whiteness, and racialization, and then apply that knowledge to how I teach, what I include, and how I show up.